Welcome to the Bushido Gang. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's AttackonSamurott, bringing you all my reaction the uh to the ADV Global Championships for this year. Um, so the players that made it to the end of the ADV Global Championship were Watermess and Fakes. So for Watermess is kind of a fan favorite. I guess same would apply to Fakes. Um, both of them, I think, are very competent players. I had no idea that they would both make it to the finals. I think that's very cool for both of them, especially for Watermess, since Watermess, or since Mess is is one of the like upcoming players in the format. So it's just kind of cool that he could potentially get his first ADV Global trophy, and I guess the same would apply to Fakes as well. Um, However, I'm being a little bit more biased in this case. I kind of want to see if Mess can do it, but if Fakes wins it too, I will be happy for him as well. Um, but yeah, again, this is my reaction to it. This one is going to be a best of three, or I mean, in case you don't know, like all tour games are best of threes, especially for the old gens. So we're gonna be seeing potentially three games for this. So so yeah, the games have already like passed, like they're already over. I haven't like seen or I mean, this is my first time actually reacting to it because I missed it. I missed the live games, but it's fine. Get to watch this here, and I get to record it for you all. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. And yeah, so before we get started with this, please make sure to leave a like and comment on the video, letting me know, I guess, who do you think is gonna win? Do you think it's gonna be Mess, or do you think it's gonna be Fakes? I like to know that in the comments below. Like, just put down, who do you want to win and why and all that. So so yeah. I really wish I could talk more about their background history. I don't really know Fake's background that much. Um, I think he's played in PPL. I'm pretty sure he's played in PPL a couple times. Maybe even in one of the ADV Premier Leagues as well. Pretty sure he's played in a couple like ADV Opens as well. So again, both of these players have very have background in this metagame. So again, I'm just excited to really break this game down and just talk about it. But yeah, let me get my music set and we can get this started. So here we go. Gotta have the Yu Yu Hakusho. Gotta have it. All right. So game one. Let's get down to it. So turn one, we see Tar versus Skarmory. So Tar versus Skarmory could mean quite a lot. Could mean that Mess is just gonna be straight up offensive and just go for like maybe a choice banded focus punch. Could be mixed Tar. Could be anything. So for Fakes, what Fakes could do is he could either get his spikes down. I mean, he can get his spikes down fairly freely, or he can make a pert switch if he wants to. But again, it's just turn one, so let's see what happens here. Okay, so Mess is going to go for the taunt as Fakes is going to get taunted from spiking. So we see, taunt lead, so Tar with a taunt lead, that's something very cool. A more utility based kind of Tar can definitely be good in a situation like this, since again, you prevent the opponent from getting up hazards or doing any kind of like utility option like Toxic or whatnot. So Fakes is kind of forced to switch out and go into maybe like something to force out the Tar, which could be a fighting type or a water type. Well, Mess will be able to get some damage on whatever the switching will be, or maybe he can make a double predicting that said switch. But overall, Mess is pretty much in the commanding position at the moment. Let's see how Fakes is going to what Fakes will do to respond. He is going to go into the water type as I expected, and a Toxic will come out on the switch in. So Suicune is getting Toxic, which could matter if it's not a rest variant. But if it is, then it doesn't really matter in the long run. But Fakes is not going to appreciate the Toxic plus Sand, and Mess is just kind of on a roll at the moment with getting a taunt to prevent spikes and getting a Toxic on the Suicune as well. So how will Fakes respond to this play? Fakes is going to go back into Skarmory on the double and the Blissey from Mess. So Mess makes a pretty good play, or I mean a overall like decent play which covers both Skarmory and covers Suicune. Since you know, Blissey being the fat wall it is, will take on any hit from Suicune. So he could he could make Fakes take more damage from Poison plus Sand, and also he does no damage to Blissey. So, and also the Blissey, depending on what kind of set it is, can also be a threat to Skarmory if it's running like a fire coverage move, or if it's running fire coverage, or again just T-Wave, which will make it even harder to which would make it even harder for Skarmory to get spikes down too, because of the paralysis chances. But let's see what Mess will do. Mess is going to... So spikes will go down as Mess goes for the toss on Skarmory. So Skarmory is going to get chipped quite a bit. Now there's going to be a double into the Gengar, or I mean a switch into the Gengar. As Skarmory is going to go for a Protect and whatever potentially the Blissey could do, which would have been like maybe a fire move or whatnot. So Fakes made a good call making that Protect play. Now Gengar is in here, and Gengar is going to do... It's going to go for the burn. So it's going to go for the burn there. Fakes can make a double, or can make a switch into his own Tar if it is going to be a Suit Tar, but it's going to be Blissey instead. So Blissey is going to come in, avoid the burn, as Gar goes for the burn again. So now what Mess could do is he could apply some... Is that if this Gengar is running Taunt as well, then he pretty much shuts down Blissey like all the way. So if he is running a Taunt Gar, like double Taunt, that would be very interesting. But I don't know. I feel like Mess is gonna be running a more offensive Gengar here. I don't think it's gonna be like full on utility. But if it is, then this could definitely be the changing point. So let's see what happens. He switches into Metagross as Blissey is gonna go for the Sing, and he's gonna get the sleep on the Metagross switch. That is very big for Fakes, because now that Metagross has slept, won't be able to really do too much for a couple turns. Of course, like barring if Mess gets lucky enough to wake up early, but if not, then this Metagross is going to be sleeping for a majority of the game. So yeah, interesting play going for the Sing there. Definitely covers pretty much like everything. So not bad, definitely not bad. Suicune's going to come in here as Mess is going to waste one turn of sleep. We do see that the Suicune is faster than the Metagross. Oh, wait, no, my bad. Hold on, I messed up. Wait, no, I'm right, because Suicune got the recovery first. My fault. My apologies for that. But yeah, we do see that the Suicune is going to get recovery first before Meta does. But the Suicune is going to be a Roar variant, so it is going to be a Roar Suicune, and in comes Gyarados. So Gyarados is going to be revealed on turn 10. So far we see a majority of, we see pretty much like the whole of Mess's team for game 1. We see Taunt Tar, we see Blissey with Toss, Willow Gar, a Slept Metagross, and Gyarados. So, not gonna lie, it doesn't really look too great for Mess right now. It doesn't look very good for Mess at the moment, but how will he bounce back out of this situation? Usually on a team like this, like if you're running Gyarados, you want to have something to handle Skarmory, since Skarmory can pretty much hard wall the Gyara. So either Mess probably has like a Mag as his last Mon, or it could be anything really. But I think Mag would make some sense here if he wants to try and break through with Gyara. But again, we'll have to wait and see what kind of Gyarados this is first. It is lefty, so we can tell this is going to be some kind of DD set. Suicune is going to switch out as Mess is going to go for the DD. So DD up on the Skarmory play. Is it going to be Taunt Gyara? It is going to be Taunt Gyara. Okay, so with it being Taunt Gyara, that means he could also apply some more pressure too. But with Skarmory going for the Drill Peck, that's going to do a pretty good chip, and also just going to keep Gyarados low, which is not what Mess wants. So Mess is going to switch and go into the Tar, as Skarmory is going to go for Drill Peck again to get more chip on Tar, on the Tar switch. So he's going to go for the Taunt again, as the Toxic is going to come out one more time, or as Fakes is going to try to go for a Toxic again, or I guess go for any kind of like utility option. So Toxic will come out, and Tar is going to taunt it before Skarm can do anything. So yeah, this is a very fast Tar, as we can tell, or as you can tell, being able to outspeed the Skarmory. So this is definitely very interesting. The Tar doesn't seem to have anything to hit Skarmory though. Maybe it's gonna be like Crunch and Suit. I think that'll make some sense since you want to be able to handle Gengar. Maybe that could be the case here. But again, we'll have to wait and see what happens next. Claydol comes in as Tar goes for the Toxic on the switch into Claydol. That would have been a very good Toxic. He does land the next one though, and EQ will come down doing 42%. So this is a very, very bulky T-Tar to be able to take that Earthquake. Doing 42%. That is very, very good. That is very good defenses for Tar to take that hit that well. So we do see no recovery. Oh wait, no, that's just on the initial turn. It'll probably happen next turn. But yeah, okay, so Psychic comes out there, and okay, so yeah, there is the recovery. And as I did mention, Tar should have like some attacking move to hit Gengar. So he does have Crunch on the Tar, and Dull is getting worn down. Dull is kind of forced to go for Boom, or he can make a switch into a Blissey. But yeah, Claydol will drop here, and there goes Dull. So Dull is going to die. Here comes Doug. So Doug is going to trap the Tar. And there it goes. So Tar is getting trapped there, dies to the Doug. In comes Gar, which Gar can put some pressure again on the other mons here. As Blissey will come in here on the switch, and here comes a burn from Gengar. So Fakes is going to let Blissey get burned, which she doesn't really mind anyway. Taking that little bit of chip. In comes Gyarados on the switch into Blissey, as Blissey's going to go for the toss on the switch there. So far we see Sing Toss. Could be Ice Beam as well. To again cover for like what's it called? To cover for Ments, cover for whatnot. So yeah, so Fakes is running a more defensively oriented kind of team, which has Suicune being the offensive presence here. So not sure what the last one could be, but maybe it could be like a Wish Passer, unless Blissey's going to be running Wish as well. But I feel like it's going to be maybe a Wish Passer, maybe like Wish Rachi or something like that. But again, we'll have to wait and see what happens next. But yeah, Gyarados is getting worn down pretty quickly. Whatever this last mon that Mess has, I don't think it's actually anything that can handle Skarmory. I don't really think it is, because if it was, he would have brought it in sooner. So maybe this last mon could be a physical attacker, or maybe like a grass. It could be a grass, but we'll have to see. Blissey getting worn down by the toss and burn. In comes Gar, as Blissey's going to switch out and bring in Skarm. So Face is going to bring in the Skarm here, and we see Gar in here. So Skarm's going to go for the tech, goes for burn again from Mess's side. So Skarmory wants that spike down, and I guess not. Goes for the burn again. So Mess making the double, or going for the burn again to catch Blissey. So Blissey's getting worn down by burn plus sand. Goes for the taunt. So there is the taunt Gar. So he was running triple taunt. Very, very cool. So now with this triple taunt being out here, pretty much this shuts down Fakes by quite a lot, because now Skarmory's kind of forced to go for Drill Peck on Gar, and again, Blissey is completely shut down unless he has Ice Beam. But we do see Soft Boil, so maybe the Blissey doesn't have Ice Beam, but it should have Ice Beam to cover, the Gar, or cover what's it called? Sorry, cover Flygon. But it is Ice Beam, as it is revealed as Gengar's going to make the double, or going to make the switch into Doug. So Doug is going to get beamed, and there goes Doug. So he lost his actually that was a misclick, it seemed like, from the chat. So it's a pretty big misclick. It's a very big misclick. That's a very big misclick, since that'll allow Fakes to kind of get away with the Blissey. But Mess still has ways to kind of play around it, so he should be able to, figure out a way to handle Blissey even without Doug. So while it does suck that misclick did come down, I think we'll be able to make a way around it. But Fakes is able to take that out, and there goes Doug. So in comes Gyarados again. as Blissey is still taunted. Blissey can only go for toss, so or just switch, which he is going to switch and bring in the Gyarados or bring in the Skarmory, as we see an HP Ghost maybe or HP Flying, probably HP Flying. That did actually decent damage to Skarmory. So Skarmory is definitely going to be more specially defensive, which is the common kind of variant on Skarmory in ADV. So Mess could go for taunt again, but it doesn't really matter since Drill Peck just does so much damage, bringing it down to 26% without the Intimidate drop. So he could go. He doesn't really have much of an option, to be fair. Skarmory kind of just shuts him down, or can just do too much damage to him. So it's kind of interesting what can happen in this turn, but let's see. So Skarmory's going to be able to get some leeway here and go for either a Spike or just Drill Peck on the switch. He is going to Drill Peck on the switch as Meta's going to come in here. So what Mess needs is for this to wake up so you can get a potential boom. Suicune will come in here as Meta is still slept. Recovery coming down. He's going to try and waste another turn to break out maybe. No, goes Gyarados again, as Suicune is going to go for the Surf on the switch, doing 14% to Gyarados. So Gyarados is going to get chipped quite a bit. All that Mess can really do is go for HP Flying to get as much damage on monsters as he can. He goes for the taunt on the double, or on the switch in the Skarm. So Skarm is going to get taunted, which means he can't go for, anything else. Go for, Supreme is forced to Drill Peck again, as he will Drill Peck there. Again, he really wants to wake up with this Metagross, and Metagross is just not budging. Again, if he can wake this up, he could potentially get a boom and get some momentum back in his favor. So he goes for Fakes is going to go for the rest there, as Meta is going to wake up and go for a Thunder Punch on Suicune. So with Thunder Punch being revealed, this means that Mess is running a more mixed variant of Metagross. Thunder Punches again, as pretty much Suicune is revealed to be a like maybe like Toxic, or it could be Sleep Talk Rest. Or no, actually it's not Sleep Talk Rest. It's definitely Toxic Rest. So that means the Suicune pretty much gets pretty messed up by Metagross. Also, it means that Fakes is kind of forced to go for Surf, which means that'll allow him to Doug the Doug meta. So if he does this, then Fakes is still pretty much going to be in the better spot than Mess will be. So let's see what happens here. If Suicune wakes up, which if it doesn't, okay, he goes Gar. So Gar comes in on the HP Grass. So Mess makes the potential HP Grass play, which would have caught Doug. So I can respect that play. I definitely can. That was a very solid prediction. In case Doug did come in. So again, fair play on his end. But Gengar is going to be the mon coming in instead. So Gengar being revealed means that Gar could go for like potentially a burn or whatnot. And Gar is going to go for the burn on the switch into Blissey. So Blissey is going to take the burn there. As Gengar will be able to kind of wall the Blissey, depending on what kind of, set it is. Mess is going to go for the Ice Beam on the switch into Blissey. So Blissey will be able to recover this off, being able to pretty much get back to full. As Mess can make the double into Metagross, as Blissey is going to recover all that recovery back, or all that health back. We do see that the meta is faster, of course. Goes for Mash now. Mash is doing damage to Blissey. Blissey's going to go for the toss, which means that Fakes is going to accept the double, is going to accept the trait. But Mess is not going to take that, going to go into Gyarados instead, as Suicune will come in on the switch. Now, judging by how much HP Flying did to Skarmory, this might be an Adamant Gyarados. So, or it's more likely Adamant Gyarados. Adamant Gyarados is pretty much like the standard. So, HP Flying could potentially knock out Suicune, but with Suicune being the kind of set it is, it's going to be like bold, max HP, max defense. So it will take HP Flying very well. But I don't know if it's like super well. It might be a roll actually. Let me do some calculating just to be sure. If I can find the calc. Let me get the, hold on, wait a minute. Didn't mean to do that. Didn't mean to go on Showdown real quick. Let me go to the calc real quick. I just want to see like how much HP Flying would have done if he chooses to stay in here. Like if he chooses to stay in here and go for HP Flying, then he could potentially knock out Suicune. But again, Fakes has Skarmory, so he can't exactly make that play. But Mess is kind of out of options, you know? He kind of is. Like, this is a very tough position that he's in right now. Because again, more chip damage. I mean, he could still HP flying the Skarm, but okay, actually no. We know that Skarm doesn't have phasing, so Skarm can't phase, which means that all it can really do is go for Drill Peck or go for spikes here, on Skarmory. I mean with Skarmory. So his Metagross can actually get some momentum. I just realized that. Wow. I literally just realized that his Metagross can actually get some momentum against Skarmory. So it's still interesting, you know? It's still interesting because Mess can still kind of bring this back. But I think what Fix wants to do, I think if Fix wants to close this out, he might need to play a little bit more aggro and try and get spikes down if he can afford to. If he can, which is going to be difficult with, again, double taunt. But I think he might be able to still do it if he can. Maybe. But also, I want to see this damage real quick. I just want to see if Adamant Gara can actually kill off defensive Suicune at 29%. I don't think it can. I don't. But I'm still very curious. So Adamant HP Flying versus defensive Suicune. Non-Calm Mind or non-that. He's definitely toxic on that move. So HP Flying does 20 to 23%. So that is not killing. That is not killing, even with Sand Chip. So, well, actually, Sand Chip already went down. So he's going to go for the HP Flying on the Skarm. Gets a crit. That's a very big crit. Now what that means, with that crit coming down, that'll mean that, that Mess could get some momentum with Metagross down and will be able to Thunder Punch it down. So this is still really, really good. This is still really, really good. That crit definitely is going to put Mess up quite a bit. We're going to put Mess up a little bit. While Fakes isn't like too bothered by that crit. But that will keep his this will force him to go for Drill Peck. So he will Drill Peck here on the Metagross, as he is going to. So now this kind of, well, actually no, Metagross is still faster, but he is going to go Gar, as he's going to go for catch the Suicune. So all these doubles coming out. He was probably trying to go for the go for the sack and let Suicune go so we can dug the meta. That was a smart play on Fake's part to try and catch that, but I guess Mess wasn't gonna let that go, or wasn't gonna let Metagross go yet. So he decided to keep it around, which he is going to elect to do. And with Gar coming in here, Gar is still very dangerous against Fakes because of the potential burns, and you know, again, taunt plus burn is still going a long way for him. So let's see what Mess will do. Mess is going to go for the Thunderbolt. So Thunderbolt is going to be revealed as the other move. Now Gengar shuts this Blissey down completely with taunt. He could Ice Beam and try and go for a freeze. If Face gets the freeze, then this game could potentially be over. But he does not get the freeze, and Blissey will die to Thunderbolt, or actually to the burn plus Thunderbolt, and that should be that. No freeze coming down, and Mess is going to be able to 1v1 the Blissey. And there goes Blissey. So Blissey will die next turn. Goes for taunt on the Doug switch. Doug is forced to go for, you know, Rock Slide or HP or Aerial Ace. Goes for Rock Slide and unfortunately misses that. So Fakes is gonna miss the slide there. But pretty much Mess is gonna let this Mon go, and he will bring in the meta, which meta will be able to put some pressure on with a Meteor Mash. So he could make the double back into no, he's going to just elect to mash it. So he's going to let the mash go down. There goes meta to the Doug. So Doug is going to Doug the meta. So there goes Metagross. But now Gengar is kind of good here because, again, he'll be able to he'll be able to burn the Skarmory, or even burn the opposing Gengar. So Mess is still kind of in a good spot. But the only thing he has to be afraid of is he still has to be like very wary of the Gengar, like very, very wary of it. Because if he's not, then Fake's Gengar can still, you know, out pressure him. Which I mean he still can, since Since Fake's Gengar has more HP and will be able to kind of, you know, outplay him or outpower him if he wants the speed ties, of course. But this is still a very dicey endgame, but it's looking more like it's gonna be in Fake's favor at this point. Gengar does go for the burn on the potential Gar or the potential Skarmory. So he did choose to like that play. He's gonna go for it again to try and catch it, but he does not catch it. But now pretty much he could do it again, but I think it's better just to Thunderbolt, as he is gonna Thunderbolt, and there goes Suicune. So Suicune is dead. But now it's Gengar on Gengar action. How will Mess and how will Fakes choose to go about this? Again, it's looking like it might be in Fake's favor at this point. If Fakes wins the speed tie here, well, honestly, Fakes just wins actually. with taunt plus Thunderbolt, if this is the case, and if not, he just booms anyway. Well, not on Gar, but I mean, like, if he wins the speed time, just Thunderbolts down, then I think it's over. But let's see what happens. He is in a Thunderbolt, doing 29%. Mess is gonna miss the burn, and that's gonna be GG. That's pretty much GG now, and that is that. He's gonna go for Thunderbolt again, and if Gengar does have taunt, then it's over. And I'm pretty sure it does have taunt. No, he doesn't. He doesn't have taunt. Okay, so he goes for the Ice Beam there. My apologies. Mess goes for the Ice Beam there. He is going to go for the Drill Peck, or Fake's going to go for the Drill Peck, as Blissey's going to recover that off. So great for Blissey to recover that. He's going to try and bring this back as close as he can. Try and bring this Blissey to around full health, so he can still kind of deal with the Gengar. Goes for Toxic there, as Blissey is going to go for the Toss. So Toss is going to come out. But now Blissey can't stay in here, because Blissey will get worn down very quickly by Toxic plus Sand. And because of that crit, it's going to be even worse. And yeah, doing 13%. 20% still. Toss coming down, but Sand plus... oh, no, my bad. Not the Sand plus Toxic, but still, this is not a good spot for Mess to be in. But pretty much is kind of over. He can still soft load up to bring himself to around fullish. But that's going to do, like, yeah, less than 50. And yeah, that's pretty much game. You can still wish. But even so, it's still not going to be enough. And that's going to be GG. Potentially. Wish will come down. He's trying to get the burn there. Or actually, no, he Thunderbolts there, which actually made more sense. So he Thunderbolts there. Doesn't get it off. He can still do it again. But Drill Peck and everything, just... because Thunderbolt still does a lot. Drill Peck doing a lot more. And that's game. That's still going to be game. So Fakes played this game very, very cautiously, I'd say. Very, very cautiously. I think the triple taunt was very, very cool to see. But it just was not enough. And the burn will miss there. But that Sam will knock him out. And that's going to be game. So Fakes wins game 1. Very, very close game. Very close game. The Sing Blitz really changed things here. Really did. Like, again, getting the Sing on that Metagross was huge. Because that kind of made Mess, that kind of, put Mess at a disadvantage. Because with the Sing coming down, he's not really going to be able to pressure Fake's defensive core very well. Again, he couldn't really pressure the Suicune, couldn't really pressure Skarmory without the Sing there. It was just a rough game. Just a rough game for him. And plus, he didn't really have a whole lot to take on Skarmory. Besides, of course, the meta and the Gar. But outside that, though, that was just very tough. Again, Taunt was good. Taunt was very good to help him with that, or to help wear it down. But, to stop more Spice from being put down. But still, it was just a tough matchup. Just a tough matchup for really for Mess to kind of get through. Yeah, the Sing Blitz was kind of the rage there. It was kind of like going all in, pretty much. So yeah, not really much else to say about it. I do think this was a very close game, though. This could have been a very close game 1. Again, had the Sing not come down, I think Meadow could have done a ton more here, like a lot more. against Fakes. But it is what it is. It is what it is. I think they both played very well in this game. They both played very, very well. And yeah, that's what I think. So that is going to be game 1. Now, for game 2, if Mess wins game 2, then there will be a game 3. But again, we'll have to wait and see. So luckily, I have game 2. So here it is. So here's game 2. Now I have no idea what both of them can bring. I have no idea. Like Mess is a very interesting player. Like he can bring anything. He can literally bring anything to any kind of matchup, and that's what makes him like very unpredictable. Sometimes, at least for me when I play him. But in general, like he's just a very versatile player. I don't know too much about Fake's background. I don't know like what kind of player he really is, but I'm assuming that he's just as versatile as Mess is when it comes to this. I mean, he made it to finals. Like he's got to be good enough to play ADV to make it to finals, you know. I'm joking. Anyways, let's see how game 2 goes. Again, if Mess wins game 2, then there will be a game 3. And if Fakes wins this game, then it's pretty much over. So let's see what happens. Alright, so Fakes is gonna lead with Vaporeon. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. Let me turn down the music. My apologies, I didn't mean to burst your ears. Alright, so we have Zapdos versus Vaporeon. So either Mess is gonna be running some offense, or actually it probably is. Mess might be running offense, and so is Fakes. So this one will be a little bit more interesting. So let's see. So overall, we know who has the lead matchup. Fakes is pretty much forced to switch out. So let's see. Oh no, he's gonna go for the Thunderbolt instead. So he goes for the Thunderbolt, as he will live it, which is impressive. Very, very impressive that Vape lived that Thunderbolt. So either Zapdos is just not bulky, or Vape is just very, very HP invested. Which could be the case. I'm actually kind of curious for myself how Vape lived that. Like, that's insane. that's just actually insane that Vape lived that Thunderbolt so easily. Let's check offensive Zapdos versus Vape. So let's see, Vape. Let's check like the wall variant. Ooh. Okay, no, offensive Zapdos is 66 to 78% if it's a more defensively oriented Vape, which it seems to be, based on how much Thunderbolt did. So maybe I'm wrong. I could be very wrong. This could be a more this game could be, I mean, Vape could definitely be more defensive, or I mean, it is defensively oriented, as you saw. It lived Thunderbolt with ease. So this could be a lot more. This could be very different. Let's see. So Vape is going to pass the Salic. Okay, so never mind. It is going to be offensive. So he's going to pass the Salic into Tar. So Tar's going to get a Salic boost, which is going to be very, very good. Heracross comes in here on the double or on the switch as Tar's going to set up a DD. We see a Rock Slide come out. She's going to try and go for the flinch. Doesn't get it. There goes Tar. So Tar is going to drop. Now Ninjask comes in. So we see we're seeing some baton pass action going down. There goes Hera to the HP Bug or HP Ghost. Ninjask is going to set up a BP or a pass. Gonna trap the Mag. So Mag is gonna get trapped there. As T-Wave will come down, gonna trap the Mag. Mag is gonna drop in 2. And now Fakes is going to bring in Lax, as Lax is going to, I guess, curse up here, or just EQ. No, he is gonna curse up. He wants to curse up for Zapdos and such. Mag is gonna get Parrot there. And what's crazy is that I think Lax is still faster, which it is. Goes for Body Slam. Goes for a Thunderbolt from Mess's side. Thunderbolt gonna get some good chip on the Lax. So Lax is very physically oriented, or very offensive, with probably like very little bulk. Since Thunderbolt did so much damage to it, gonna Shadow Ball it. There goes Mag, and now Fakes will get off a free boom, as he will boom on the Marrow, or he'll just let this get sacked to Marrow. But no, he's gonna go into Jax. Gonna try and get another speed boost to pass into whatever his other mon is, or just get a free pass. So he is gonna just pass and go into Lax. Lax is gonna drop there. And this game looks, I don't know, this game kind of looking looking kind of over. Pump's gonna miss there. Pump will miss from the are gonna miss the Celebi. Gonna Giga Drain it. There goes Vape. And now it's just Ninjask and whatever that last mon is. So Ninjask is going to go for an SD, as Celebi is gonna go for a Psychic and gonna drop drop the Jask. Meta will come in, and I don't think Meta will be able to will be enough for this. He's gonna try and go for a crit mash. Doesn't get the crit mash. But Celebi is going to lift that with ease. Gonna switch and go into Rachi, as Rachi just eats mash and eats EQ pretty easily, especially with the Leech Seed plus lefties. And gonna be able to sub here as well. Go for an EQ. And this game is just a wrap. This game is just kind of a wrap, and that's gonna be that. I don't know why Figs brought that. This was I did not expect that. This game was very weird. Wow. I did not expect this. I did not expect something like this from either of them, actually. Okay, I expected some kind of offense, but this was not what I was expecting. This was very, very different. But it seemed like Figs was just gonna go off the crit. So if he did get the crit there, the flinch, if he did get the flinch there on Hera, then well, we'd be having a much different game, I'd say. I think it probably would have been in Fake's favor, actually, at that point, if he did get the flinch on Hera. But that did not happen, and Fake's loss. So that is going to be game 2. I really don't have anything to say about this game. This is just a very, very odd game. just a very, very odd game. I want to see that BP pass, or the BP set for Vape, for it to live that hit so well. Or live that Thunderbolt so well. I think it had to be sub pass, but it wasn't Wish sub. It was Salic, so it had to have some bulk to take that hit. So maybe it had to have a lot of bulk to take the hit. So maybe something like this, to be able to still Salic pass. Let's see. Showed an Ice Beam though. So an Ice Beam did 60%. No, it did it did 60%. So yeah. Around 60, so maybe it was something like this. Yeah, Thunderbolt would put him into in the Salic range to be able to still pass. So that does make sense, or that definitely is interesting. But yeah, I don't know what to say about this game. This was a weird one, man. This was a weird one. This was a very, very weird one, but Mess wins. So that's the game. Alright, let's move on. Let's move on. So Mets wins that one without really too many issues. And now we have the last game. So the last game will determine the winner of ADV Global. Again, after seeing game 2, I have no idea what to expect now. I have no idea what to expect. They could still bring anything. So, well, actually, no. Okay, I'm gonna make a prediction. I'm predicting that that Mess will probably bring. Well, it's gonna be offense. It's gonna be offense, I'm sure, or most likely offense. Probably gonna be. Maybe Spikeless? I feel like Mess might bring Spikeless offense. And Fakes might bring something similar to game 1. I think that's what'll happen. Cause game 2 just seems so out of place. It really felt so weird. I really don't know what Fakes was doing there. I don't really know. That was just very, very different. With that hyper offense. But yeah, I think he'll bring something similar to game 1. That's what I'm thinking. And Mess will bring something, or probably bring a spikeless offense team. But if not, maybe he'll go with something similar from game 1 too. So let's see what happens. All right, let's do this. Fori versus Venu. Okay, so Fori versus Venu. Fori will switch out because it doesn't want to take HP fight. It doesn't want to take an HP fire potentially, or just go to sleep. So Venu will get a free sleep off, and there goes Zapdos. So cool. So very good turn one. So okay, I see. Okay, so Mess is gonna bring. This might be like Tyraniboa. I mean Boatar. Might be Boatar. This is very good for Mess right now because he'll get off a free sub potentially, and he could potentially go for a Focus Punch on the switch, or again he could just Fire Blast if he has it. But I think this might be Sub Boa. Might be Boa. This might be a Subtar. So if it is, then the Mess is in a very, very good spot right now. With him choosing to go Tar here. So let's see what happens. Gonna go Venu here on the double. Goes for Venu. Gonna let that go to sleep. So he's gonna let the trade come out. So he will trade. Venu will be taking some Sand Chip. Venu is gonna go for the HP HP fire. I mean, my apologies. So Venu will be Mess's Venu will be taking some chip, as Fakes will get off some good chip with HP fire. Flygon will come in on the HP flyer, but gonna get critted on that switch in. And Flygon seems to be banded. Pert will come in on the EQ, and EQ is going to do a lot to Pert. So Pert is going to take that EQ not super well. Chloe going to come in on the pump play. Wow. Okay, this is different. Okay, so I was wrong. I was very wrong about my prediction about it being a spikeless offense. It's not. It's not spikeless offense. This is something completely different. It's definitely offense though. It definitely is. So they're both choosing to go with a more offensive route, it seems. Or maybe, actually no. I think Fakes is running like a more balanced kind of team. It definitely feels like it might be more balanced, while Mess is running a more bulky offense, I'd say. But again, we don't know what the last two Mons are, so there's that too. Excuse me. So yeah. Chloe will get off a free spike. Not really, like, it doesn't really have to, you know, like, oh no, he's gonna Ice Beam instead. He's gonna get some chip on that. Pump gonna come down again, getting more chip on the on Chloe. Nice kind of forces spike here because he will die to Pump. But he goes Tar instead, so he is gonna go for the spike there. I guess maybe he thought he'd Ice Beam again, but now with Pert getting spiked down, that means that Earthquake is going to knock it out next turn. So or knock it out the next time he brings in Flygon. So this is very, very good for Mess still. Mess is kind of in the is still in a very good spot, while Fakes is kind of behind. Well, actually no, it's not really that simple. It's not that simple. Again, Fakes got the sleep down, so with Fakes getting the sleep down and also chipping Venu, it's still not entirely in Mess's favor, but Mess still got the spike down, which is more important here. Because with that spike down again, his answer to Flygon is basically gone. Get it? Gone? Flygon? I'm funny. Yeah. Spikes getting down is very good. Again, chipping the Pert, chipping the Tar, or chipping the Venu, chipping Tar when it comes in every time. Chipping 4 is still very good. So I'm guessing that Mess is just gonna let this get boomed. It's just gonna go for the boom here and just trade. No, gonna go for the surf. I mean, so he's gonna surf there. Gonna suit as Chloe will die to sand. Oh no, not yet, not yet. My bad. I thought I died to sand there. I must be thinking about GSC or something. I don't know. Anyways, Tar's gonna be able to take the serve relatively well, but now Mess can go for a boom and potentially knock out Tar, or just keep it low enough. So he's gonna boom, and Tar's gonna take the boom fairly well. And comes Rachi, so Rachi's gonna come in here, as Rachi will be able to knock out the Tar with an HP Grass or HP Fighting or whatever it has. Arrow's going to come in here. Arrow will be able to Earthquake, do a lot to Rachi, as Rachi's going to be very bulky to take that hit. But yeah, it was able to take the hit and going to go for a Body Slam, potentially getting a para on Arrow, as it does get the para on Arrow. So with the para coming down on Arrow, that means that now Tar's going to be faster than it, which means that this Tar is going to be very, very nasty. It's going to be very, very nasty if it is Subtar. If it is. Which I feel like it still is. But, again, we're going to have to wait and see. Rachi's going to switch out, going to bring in the Flygon. As, again, Arrow is locked into Earthquake. Gonna go for the double on the zap, but oh, Fakes is gonna catch that and gonna knock him out. So here comes Tar, gonna go for the ice beam, gonna take out the arrow. So arrow is dead. Now in comes Venu. Okay, so hold on. Okay, I was wrong. He's not sub. He might be mixed, or he's just full on special. Might be full on special Tar. If that's the case, then I think Tar is still gonna win this, regardless, because Ice Beam will do way too much damage to Zapdos. He has Fire Blast for 40, and Pert can get HP Grass if he does have it. So yeah, if this is special Tar, this will do a lot of damage, but he'll also have to take a really good chunk from Giga Drain though. So let's see. Yeah, Giga Drain gonna come down. The Venu is faster still. Gonna Ice Beam there. Yeah, he has special Tar. Ice Beam doing a lot there. I'm not gonna put Venu into overgrow range, but gonna do a lot still. He can Ice Beam. He can still Ice Beam again, and Ice Beam will not knock him out, but it will keep him low. So Tar's pretty much forced to sack this, or I mean, Message kind of forced to sack or go Mag or something else. He does go Mag there, so Mag will come in. Venu will be forced to get sacked here. Or no, he goes Flygon to catch the HP Fire actually, because again Venu is faster. So I guess he probably thought Venu would be faster than Mag, which typically Venu is pretty fast on it's pretty fast in general. Again, being base 80 is very good in a metagame like this. So I guess he did, you know, with his own knowledge, kind of deduce that Venu would be faster. Well, I guess seeing that it outsped Tar, which again we do know that Tar is going to be special Tar, or especially offensive Tar. We can tell that Venu. Usually Venu, or I mean Tar, which in this case this would actually be called UD Tar, since these, you know, like max special attack, max speed. We can tell that it's gonna be that Venu's gonna be faster, since, you know, timid Tar likes to go like 243. Sometimes Tar can go modest too, so they could go like modest max special attack, max special attack, max speed. Sometimes, but timid's usually like better because you're getting with the speed. But yeah, this might be timid, which is definitely why he chose to switch out. So now with Flygon being in here, he could just go for the Earthquake here, or even Rock Slide if he wants to, because Rock Slide will knock out Zapdos still. Will he do it? He did do it. So there goes Zapdos. So Zapdos will get worn down very much there. It goes Mag there to catch the Fori, as he does catch it. So Fori is going to drop there to the HP Fire. He doesn't even have, he has HP Grass, but he's gonna go for get the para there. Fori's dead, and now pretty much it's Flygon City or even Tar City. So now Gon can just go for Earthquake again, as he's gonna choose to go for the Earthquake. Now with him choosing the Earthquake, he can still make the Zapdos play. So he is gonna make the Zapdos. So Fakes will make the Zapdos switch. But still, it doesn't really change too much, since, you know, Tar can just come in here. While Sleep Talk comes out. So he's Roar Sleep Talk. Okay, so Flygon comes back in. He can still go for the Rock Slide, which he will choose to do, but he goes for HP Bug, but gets a crit. That's a very, very big crit. Very, very big crit. For one, it's a big crit because we know that the Zapdos is well, actually no, the crit matters, but it doesn't matter because we know that Zapdos, if it's running Sleep Talk Roar, then either it's meant to be like a Breloom check or a sleep check, or it's rest. Rest would make more sense, so it might be rest Sleep Talk Roar, which in that case Flygon just hard walls it, which means that I think Flygon still wins this. Let's see. Nope. So Zapdos is dead, and pretty much Earthquake will be enough. So he goes Venu there, as he misses, or as Fakes is going to miss the pump. Not like it really mattered, but actually no, it still matters. It still matters. It definitely still matters. EQ, I'm not going to wake up. Venu has to wake up now. If he doesn't wake up, then again Pert will still be at relatively good health, and he is going to be at relatively good health, which means that for one, Fakes will be able to protect to get more recovery back. But we see that Tar's faster, and if he has HP Grass, which he has Crunch. Okay, so Crunch is still going to do enough anyway to Pert. so it'll be enough for him to earthquake through. Gonna get the double. Gonna go for crunch again. So Per is really getting that recovery back that he needs. But let's see, crunch coming down, doing 32%. Gonna earthquake there. He needs 2 protects. If Fakes gets 2 protects, then he can still be able to win this with Flygon. Let's see, he goes for 1. Fakes can still win this. But if he gets a double, then it's that. Doesn't get it, EQ will come out, and that's a dead Per, and that's GG. So Mess is the ADV Global Champion. So that's that. That is that. So Mess is the ADV Global Champion. This was interesting. Oh wait, oh right, there's more games, aren't there? I think it's like a series, actually. Maybe I'm wrong. I might be wrong. I know they're saying that there's other games that they have to play. Maybe are there actually more games, or is this really it? I think this is still it. I think this is actually the finals. Again, I'm sorry, I was looking at the chat, but I think there's more. Maybe. Maybe there are more games. I might be wrong. It's probably like some kind of. I'm probably missing something. But for now, it seems like Mess is the champion. Okay, you know what? Hold on. Let me. Okay, I need to re-record this because I'm actually kind of confused. I thought it was a best of 3, and this was it. But there might be more games. I'll be right back.